What's going on? Welcome. It's the Roundup. We're back here on Reversal. We are here on the set, as you can see, of Street Fighter League Europe, and we've just hit the midpoint, which means it's a good time for us to take a look at what's going on in the world of Street Fighter 6. There's been tons of action when it comes to World Warriors. Obviously, Street Fighter League in the US and EU is heating up as well. We're going to take a look at all of that in the show today. I want to take a big shout out as well to the people that helped put this together, be it Crossmoon, Ruzu, Lazarus, the full squad, and of course Damascus, who's behind the camera right now. Hello. He's here. Let's get into some of the first action. Of course, people are qualifying for Capcom Cup thick and fast, and it might be difficult for you to keep up, but that's exactly what the Roundup is here for. We'll be here every week, letting you know what's going on in the world of Street Fighter 6. Let's take a look. Despite a valiant losers bracket run, Kami could not overcome IDOM on the winner's side, as the 2019 champ is back at Capcom Cup. That makes it 4 players out of this region qualifying. An incredible performance.
IDOM qualifies for Capcom Cup 11.
Back in business, IDOM with the Manon.
After making it into top 8, Chris CCH's qualification was guaranteed as he tops the leaderboard on points, but he was not letting Nephew overtake him. With Nephew already qualified out of his second place finish at the Super Premiere, this grand final was a battle for pride. And despite managing to reset in grand finals, Nephew was not able to overcome Chris CCH this day, who cemented his victory by winning this last World Warrior and guaranteeing that first place finish and a spot at Capcom Cup.
Not only takes the tournament, but I believe qualifies for Capcom Cup in the process.
Zhao Hai continues his run with a third back-to-back win, cruising through winners and defeating Plaster King in grand finals to secure the auto qualifier spot out of this super region. But Plaster King goes into the region finals as #1 seed. Also of note, Zhen just manages to make it into that final leg. Kaba managed to fight off a bracket reset from Crossover and gets the win when it matters to qualify for the cup. Despite finishing second behind him in the leaderboards, it was all Grand Todakai's day as he beat rival Arma in winners final and again in grand finals to qualify for Capcom Cup.
Oh no, yo estoy ahí, hermano.
Se fue.
La media agachada.
And no one was happier than his incredibly supportive mom. With Blaze already qualifying out of this super region after a dominant season which included 4 World Warrior wins, the region finals were wide open. Grand finals were between #1 seed and experienced Bison player Dookie going up against his UB teammate Salvatore, repping Venezuela but based also out of Argentina. After a 3-1 victory for the Kami player in winners semis, it was closer in grand finals, but ultimately Salvatore took it 3-2. The last World Warrior event of the season in Asia East saw Oil King put up his 4th win and clear the pack by 70 points to secure the automatic qualification spot from this super region. And that was despite a valiant bracket reset from Mickey. Closest rival ZJZ couldn't make top 8 this time and will have a tough job to qualify at the region finals in December. Colombia's Limestone cleared winner's side with back-to-back set wins over Anunnaki. Despite scoring points in only 4 events, his 2 wins and second place are enough to secure the #1 seed going into region finals next week. After a prolonged schedule due to SFL Japan and Super Premier scheduling clashes, Japan's World Warrior season is almost at a close. And with no real firm form to go by, it could still be anyone's guess who secures the auto qualifier spot, as 7 players are still realistically in the hunt for that top of the leaderboard space. Fudo threw his name in the mix with 50 points secured from his first place, more than tripling his 20-point total going into this event. And with the leaderboard leaders Kakeru and Higuchi both tied on only 90 points this season, it's truly wide open. World Warrior Japan is a different animal entirely though, with over 800 entrants this time round, making it a super major in its own right. Fudo had to work hard to get past Kichipa and Bonchan just to make it to the top 8, where a path of Momochi and Moke led him to a grand final showdown with Higuchi. And whilst Higuchi showed his levels by beating those same two players himself to make it back through losers into grand finals, it was Fudo who had the edge this day with a 3-2 victory, which really boosts his season's qualification chances. There's very little respite for these players looking to qualify, however, as the 5th World Warrior happens December the 8th, with Kings of the World, the last offline premiere, beginning on the 13th, and then immediately after that, the Japan Region Final on December the 19th. It truly is a hectic time of year for the pro-Japanese player. Over in Europe, CPT festivities are on hold for Street Fighter League Europe 2024. 24 players have been drawn together from Europe and beyond in 6 top teams, many of which are returning from seasons past. But with many elite additions to some of these squads, the action has been sensational. As we move past the midway point, it is clear that the favoured 3 teams are a level above the rest as they look to pull away from the pack. Players like first half of the season MVP Angry Bird, Ending Walker, Mr. Crimson and Phenom have all been incredibly impressive. But with sets like Takamura versus Problem X and Zerner versus Big Bird, which opened the entire season, nothing can be taken for granted other than superb play. Catch all the action every night absolutely live as the second half of the season concludes. You can catch those season finals on November the 26th, live and direct from Paris on the Capcom Fighters YouTube and Twitch.
And there you have it. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to be back every week rounding up all of the news and results in the world of Street Fighter 6 right here on Reversal. I have got you. We'll be back next week when, of course, Street Fighter League Europe will have wrapped up. More names will have qualified for Capcom Cup, and there'll be all manner of other action and updates between then, I am sure. But until next week, make sure you're following Reversal. Check out the YouTube. We're probably watching it on there now, but if not, make sure you go and subscribe. Check out some of the great live broadcasts happening as well on the Twitch. That's Reversal GG. And follow us on social media, Reversal_GG on Twitter, which we will not acknowledge as that other place. But thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time round. Street Fighter 6 action is heating up, and we'll be back keeping you up to date with the Roundup.